Hello, my name is Arthur Pope.
Nice to meet you. I'm Joshua Steggy. Go ahead and sit down. And so you're here for an interview on a film director here at Warner Bros., correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's go ahead and start. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself and your interest in the film industry?
All right. So film has been a big part of my life. From the very first film I remember ever watching was Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory with Gene Wilder. The amount of absurdity in that movie and the fun that I had while watching it just really made me feel like I wanted to give that to other people. I wanted people to feel the same thing that I was feeling. So at that moment in my life, I realized I wanted to do films. When I was younger, me and my brothers, we'd have toys and we'd act out scenes from our favorite movies. And in that moment, I was directing them. And that's when I knew I was going to direct movies.
Okay, what qualities do you think you have that will actually benefit Warner Brothers as an organization as a whole?
So one of the hallmark characteristics of a director is being able to handle so many tasks at one. When you're dealing with actors and then you have sound guys and you have like set issues. So I feel like I can bring a level of organization to the already expanding on directors and studios that Warner Brothers could use at this point in time. I feel like I could come in and be able to keep a calm head to myself and still be able to push out quality movies.
Okay. Do you actually have any experience in making films prior to you interviewing here at Warner Brothers?
Yes. So in the 7th grade, I made my first ever short film. It was a film I made with some friends. We just pulled out our laptops and we just started recording stuff. And it was like a minute, 2 minutes. But in that moment, I knew it was the first moment that I ever really experienced like a real camera. And in that moment, it was like this first time I ever experienced editing stuff. And I knew from then that I was going to continue on with this. And I've continued on with it. I've made short films. I made a Julius Caesar short film. I have a show. It's kind of like The Office. It's like that. And I've directed those. I've written those. I've edited those. So I've had a lot of amateur experience in this field.
Okay. Do you actually know the key responsibilities for a film director?
Yes. Okay. So a director is in charge of making sure that all the actors are in place, that everything is set in place. That when the cameras are rolling, that all that you get is the final product. So a director should be in charge of making sure the actors know what they're doing, making sure that everybody behind the scenes knows what they're doing, making sure that the camera's in the right place, and making sure that the movie comes out the way that he sees the vision.
Okay, and do you believe that you have those key responsibilities under control?
Yes, sir. I fully believe that from the projects that I've worked on, I've been in control of my actors. How very few they are. I've been in control of them. I've written most of my stuff. I've edited most of my stuff, and my vision has been the same throughout.
Okay. What genres of movies do you actually hope to create, and are you kind of open to more genres if Warner Brothers deems it so?
Right now, some of the biggest movie genre right now is superhero movies. They call it it's like the new Wild West movies, and I really want to get into that. And I know the Warner Brothers has DC and stuff, and I would definitely enjoy making a DC film. Other than that, I really love doing action. I would be into action films, and there's just so many different genres. You have Warner Brothers, I believe, pushed out It this year, and that did really well, and that's horror, and I really would like to get into all those different genres if they deem it so.
Okay. Now, one of the key aspects of actually being a film director is sometimes films can take places in other key areas of the nation and also around the country. Do you think you're actually capable of working in different areas of the world for filming different shots, or different parts of the nation for doing different types of shots for long lengths of time?
Well, yes. So many people, one person, I'm not meaning to call him out, but Adam Sandler once stated in an interview that he made Blended because he wanted to go on vacation with all his friends. And while I don't see movies as a vacation, I see it more as work. I'm perfectly comfortable with going to different countries because sometimes you can't do things in a studio. Sometimes you have to go out there and experience those things. So I'm perfectly comfortable with doing those things.
Okay, for a hypothetical question, if you actually receive this job, do you see yourself trying to raise your standard in Warner Brothers and trying to be almost one of our most recommended directors?
Well, yes, I would love for my work to be noticed for generations to come. I want people to get the same feeling I got when I watched Willy Wonka for the first time. I want younger generations to get inspired, and want to get into this art style of filming, and I would definitely love to maybe one day be at the top of Warner Brothers so I could be doing this, interviewing younger generations of filmmakers.
Okay. In your opinion, what do you think the hardest part of being a film director is?
The hardest part of being the film director is also one of the key parts of doing it, and that's making sure that everything follows your vision, making sure that everything happens according to your plan. So sometimes you're dealing with actors who are too crazy or too much of a party in the party scene, and you have to deal with that. And it's if you don't know how to deal with it, if you don't have people to back you, people who are with you, you can kind of let that fall under, and it really makes the project. It seeps through the editing, and you see the project is bad, the final edit is bad, and everything. So one of the biggest problems with directing right now is that you have too many directors who are trying to be in control of everything. And it's good to be in control of the thing because you want your vision to be out there, but it's good to kind of sit back and just let some people do their jobs.
Okay. Why are you exactly interested in Warner Brothers specifically?
So Warner Brothers has pushed out some of the groundbreaking films like Casablanca, very well-made film. It's very monumental. In film school, they showed us that a lot. The way that the lighting was and the art style and everything about it. And I just love Warner Brothers for their action, their DC films, and not just for DC films. As I stated, I'm a big fan of DC, but for their studio as a whole, their message, I really appreciate it.
Okay. And for the final question, tell me exactly why I should hire you into Warner Brothers.
So right now, there's so many different, you have a generation of filmmakers coming up. And why you should hire me as opposed to many of those others is I see things from a non-monetary standpoint. Many people are like, oh, push out that action film, that summer blockbuster for the movie. I want to make movies so people enjoy them. Like I said, so many movies inspired me, and I would like to work with Warner Brothers to get a whole new generation of inspiration out there.
Well, okay, Arthur. This interview was quite well. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll keep you posted.